I used to think my struggles were just bad luck, random obstacles keeping me from my real life. But I was completely wrong. Every single struggle and obstacle that I faced was actually pointing me towards my purpose. Today, I want to talk about how your hardest moments might be your biggest clues. Let me take you back to a period of time in my life when I was 19 years old. I was going through a very dark period at the time in my life. Everything felt uncertain. I felt invisible. I felt as if I was just going through the motions without any real direction. On that particular day, emotionally, it was a hard day. It's the kind of day where everything feels heavy. You wonder if you even matter. I would sit at the gas station. They had a section where, you could buy something to eat and just sit there and hang out at a table. And I would just people watch. I would watch people come in, buy gas, and, there was a huge window where I could see everything on the outside. And I would just watch people. I would just watch, and I would wonder about my life. Is this all to my life? I want to be happy. I want to be in a better situation than I was. So after I had sat in the gas station for a few hours, I had gotten some snacks, so I paid for those, and then I left the gas station and walked back home. So on my way home, I was walking, I was looking at cars, I was just looking at people driving by, and I just happened to look up, and I looked up in the sky, and I saw what appeared to be a five-pointed star. It was bright, and it was shining. And I remember hearing distinctively, "You are something. You are something." I'll never forget those words. After hearing that, I got home, I didn't tell anybody about it. I didn't fully understand what that meant then. But looking back now, I realized that moment of me feeling just worthless, it was the beginning of me understanding my purpose. And that voice wasn't telling me that I was already something great. It was telling me that I had the potential to become something great. But it was only going to happen through something that I create with my own hands and my own heart. It wasn't going to be something that anybody handed to me. It was going to be from something that I create myself. And so this brings me to my first insight. Our struggles forces us to develop skills that we did not know we needed. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was fired from the company that he himself founded. It could have destroyed him. But that struggle forced him to develop skills that he did not know he needed. Things like humility, better leadership, and to see technology from the outside looking in. He had to learn how to rebuild, how to innovate under pressure, and how to lead differently. Those were not skills that he chose to develop. Those were skills that were forced on him due to the devastation of the setback. But here's the thing. When he returned to Apple, those were the exact skills that led to the creation of the iPhone, the iPad, and the Apple that we know today. The struggle didn't just build his character. It built the capabilities that he needed for his greatest work. The same thing happened to me during my difficult period. I was forced to become self-reliant. I had to learn how to validate myself when nobody else would. I had to develop resilience, the ability to keep moving forward even when I didn't know what the path ahead of me would look like. I had to learn how to recognize my own worth, even when the world did not reflect it back to me. These weren't skills that I chose to develop. They were forced on me because of the circumstances I was in. And these are the exact skills that I now use to help others. The self-validation I learned, that's what I teach people who feel invisible. The resilience I developed, that's what I share with people who want to give up. The ability to recognize worth, that's the foundation of all of my purpose work. Struggle doesn't just build character. It builds the exact capabilities that you'll need for your purpose. What skills has your struggle forced you to develop? The second insight, pain creates empathy, and empathy reveals who you're meant to serve. Let's take Tony Robbins, for example. Most people see him as this confident, powerful man, which he is, and he helps millions of people reclaim their personal power. But what I don't know is that Tony Robbins grew up in an abusive home in poverty where he felt completely powerless. as a child. That deep pain of helplessness could have just broken him, but instead it gave him an incredible ability to connect with people who feel stuck, who feel powerless, and who feel like victims of their own circumstances. He doesn't just teach about personal power for theory. He teaches it because he understands what it feels like to have no power at all. His childhood struggles with powerlessness wasn't separate from his purpose. It directly equipped him to help others who feel the same way. The empathy that he developed from his own pain is exactly what allows him to reach out to people who are ready to give up on themselves. And so for me, because I felt invisible and lost, I can connect with people who feel the same way. Not in a theoretical way, in a deep, authentic way. When somebody tells me they feel they don't matter, I don't just understand from an intellectual perspective. I understand in a deep way because I have been there myself. This is why what we overcome becomes what we're meant to help others overcome. Your struggle isn't just your personal journey. It's your qualification. It's what makes you uniquely equipped to help specific people in specific ways. Think about the people that you naturally want to help. I guarantee you what they're dealing with, it's something that you yourself have already been through or has already been through. That's not coincidence. Your pain is leading you toward your purpose. The third insight: struggles strip away everything that doesn't matter and reveal what truly does. Let me tell you about Viktor Frankl. He was a psychiatrist who survived a Nazi concentration camp during the Holocaust. In those camps, he lost everything: his family, his life's work, his manuscript, his identity, his freedom. Everything was stripped away. But in that ultimate stripping away of everything that seemed to matter, he discovered something profound. When all external circumstances were beyond his control, when he had nothing left, he realized that the only one thing that remained was his ability to find meaning in his suffering. This wasn't a philosophical concept for him, this was survival. In the darkest possible circumstances, he discovered that what truly mattered to him was helping people understand that they could find their purpose even in the worst situations. And that core value wasn't chosen from a list. It was revealed through that unimaginable struggle. When he was finally freed, he wrote the book called Man's Search for Meaning. And that book has helped millions of people find their purpose in their own struggles. And so his worst experience revealed his greatest contribution to the world. And so the same thing happened to me, obviously on a different scale. When I was in my hardest moment, I discovered what I cared about. Not what I was supposed to care about, but what actually moved me. I cared about people feeling seen. I cared about people recognizing their worth. And I cared about people not giving up on themselves. These weren't values I chose from a list. These were revealed through my struggles. When everything else was stripped away, this is what remained. And this is exactly what my purpose work now centers around now. What remains for you when everything else falls away? That's a clue to your purpose. So I want you to really think about these questions. What struggle taught you the most about yourself? Not just surface lessons, but about deep truths, about who you are and what you're capable of. What skills did your hardest time force you to develop? And who in your life could benefit from those same skills? When you think about the people you naturally want to help, what do they have in common? What are they struggling with that you have already overcome? And here's the big one. When everything else falls apart, what still matters to you? What values emerge when you're not trying to impress anyone or fit into a box? Your struggles aren't random roadblocks. They're not signs that you're on the wrong path. They're actually breadcrumbs leading you to your purpose. Every challenge you've overcome have equipped you with something unique to offer the world. The question isn't whether you have a purpose. You do. We all do. The question is whether you'll recognize how your struggles have been preparing you for it. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Please share one struggle in the comments that have taught you something important about yourself. Or maybe tell me about a skill your hardest time forced you to develop. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification so you can be notified when I post a new video. Sur ce, thank you for watching. On se dit à la prochaine. See you soon.